Assalamu alaikum dears, it's me Muhammad Naeem, and today we are going to talk about parts of the speech. Now you might have studied these concepts in your schools or colleges and universities, but today we are going to tackle them in a different manner. Now before moving to the parts of the speech, there is an important concept for you that I have derivated specially for you, and that is that we can divide these parts of speech in three categories. The first category is the supreme parts of the speech, and the second category is the advocates, and the third category is the mediators. Now first of all we will talk about them and we will try to understand them, and then we will try to relate them with these three categories. Now the first part of the speech is verb, okay, and this is the most essential and most important part of any speech, whether it is in the form of written words or it is in the form of utterances or the spoken language. Now if you have 1 million other parts of the speech, you have pronouns, you have nouns, adjectives, adverbs, conjunctions, interjections, prepositions, you have 1 million of these, but one thing is missing, and that is verb. You cannot have a sentence, you cannot have a speech. Now verb comes at the first place, okay. Now you might have studied these parts of speech in an order that first comes noun and then pronoun and then verb and then adverb and so on, but actually verb is the first part of the speech, right? Without verb we cannot have the speech. After verb, the second important part of the speech is noun. Noun is actually the person who is doing or acting that verb, who is performing that verb, that action, okay. Now verb means the action, okay, that is taking place, and noun is the person who is performing that action or is receiving the receiving that action, okay. Now if the person is performing the action, then it means that the noun is subject, okay. If the person is performing the action, the noun is subject, okay. And if the person is receiving the effect of that verb, okay, then it means that the noun is what? The noun is object. Subject means the person who is doing an action, and object means the person who is receiving an action. Now verb and noun we have discussed it. Then we come to the pronoun, okay. Now these two are the major or the supreme parts of the speech. If you just have nouns and verbs, you can have a complete sentence and you can have a complete speech. That's why we call them the supreme parts of the speech. Then at second category we have the advocates, okay, and in advocates we have pronouns, we have adjectives, and we have adverbs. Now what pronoun does? Pronoun actually comes at the place of the noun. When noun is on leave or noun is not present, okay, or noun has some busy engagements, then pronoun comes and does the job of the noun, okay. I will explain them with examples as well. Then we have adjective. Adjective is actually a word or a part of the speech that gives additional information about the noun, okay. Noun can be small, noun can be big, so different qualities for the noun are expressed or described with the help of adjectives, right? Then we have adverb. Adverb is actually a word or a part of the speech that gives additional information about a verb. So its major job is to advocate the verb, okay. That's why we call it the adverb. And adjective, okay. The word ad, you can relate them with advocates, right? Now adverbs basic job is to give additional information about the verb, but sometimes it can give additional information about an adjective or another adverb. So we will discuss these things in a separate video, and I will talk about adverb over there, and I will explain the different kinds and different types of adverbs. But right now you just need to understand this, that adverb is a word that describes a verb, okay, or it describes an adjective, right? I can place an arrow over there so that you can relate them. Adverb can describe a verb, it can describe an adjective, or it can describe another adverb, right? Then we move to the mediators. Mediation means to come in between and to connect two things, okay. When two people are having a fight or having a problem, so a third person comes and that third person connects, okay, or reconciliates between those two people. So this is the job that these three of the parts of the speech do. Now preposition, you can, if you understand the just the the word preposition, you can understand the concept behind this word. Preposition means preposition, okay, like before position. Okay, now preposition is actually a word that tells the connection between a noun and another noun. Okay, I will explain these with the help of the examples as well, but right now I want to just give you an understanding or an idea about the definitions of these parts of the speech. Are those words that are called the feeling words. Okay, interjections are those words that are called the feeling words. These words actually express the feelings. Okay, like you have a sentence, and that sentence can be this room is beautiful, this river is beautiful, this house is beautiful, this city is beautiful. Now this looks a simple sentence. Now in order to add the feelings of the person who is saying that sentence, you can add an additional word, and that additional word will interject the feelings. Okay, that will interject the feelings. Interject means to induce or to insert some elements of feelings, right? Then we have conjunctions. Conjunctions means to conjunct, to connect two things, to assimilate two things, okay, to combine two things. So conjunctions are those words that are mediating. They can mediate between two nouns, two verbs, two clauses, two sentences, two phrases, one clause and one sentence, one phrase and one clause, and so on and so forth. Now this is the general understanding of the parts of the speech. Now we will move to the examples, and while looking at the examples, I will recap these parts of the speech, and you will be able to understand them in a more better way. Now the first example is Aisha eats an apple, right? Now Aisha is subject and Aisha is a noun. Then eats, Aisha eats, Aisha eats. Now eating is an action, right? Eats what? An apple. Now an is an article, okay, and apple is another noun, but that noun here is working as an object, okay, because Aisha is eating and the action of eating is received by this noun, okay. Then she eats it decently. Now this she actually refers to Aisha. This she comes at the place of Aisha. As I told you that pronoun comes at the place of noun. Now this she is coming at the place of Aisha, that's why it is a pronoun. She eats it. Now this eat refers to apple. Now this it is coming at the place of apple, that's why it is also pronoun. Decently, now this is the manner of eating. This decently is directly related to eats, okay, like this decently is not the quality of Aisha, but this decently is the quality of the action she is performing, right? That's why we will call it adverb. Then Ali eats a small pizza, okay. Now this small is the quality of this food, pizza, right? Ali eats a small pizza. Now this small is not the quality of eats or Ali, but it is the quality of this pizza. That's why because this small is describing or giving additional information about this word pizza, and this pizza word is a noun, that's why we will call it small as an adjective. Then Ali eats a small pizza on weekends. On weekends. Now this on is actually defining the position of this weekend and this pizza, okay. So because it is defining the position of this pizza in terms of time, that's why we will call it as preposition of time, okay, preposition of time. Then Ali and Ahmad are friends. Now this and is actually connecting these two nouns, that's why we will call it as conjunction, okay. And then wow, this place is beautiful. Now this place is beautiful, this looks a simple sentence, but if we insert this word wow, then it shows that the person is talking about the beauty of a place and the person is happy. Now this wow is an expression that shows that the person is happy. Now I will recap my today's lecture that we can divide the parts of speech in three categories: supremes. And what are the supreme parts of the speech? Verb and noun. Then advocates. Advocates are those words that advocate or that come at the place of or define or give additional information about these supremes. And what are the advocates? Pronoun, adjective and adverb. Then we have mediators. Mediators are those words that are not that much important as parts of the speech, but they just come to connect things, to assimilate, okay, to resonate and to assemble these supremes and advocates with each other. And what are the mediators? Preposition, interjection, conjunction and articles. So this was today's lesson. Inshallah, in next class we will talk in detail about verbs and then nouns and then so on and so forth. So take care of yourself. Allah Hafiz.